You shouldn't have to choose between your safety and your physical limits. It's easy to feel vulnerable when you're dependent on mobility aids like a rollator, a cane, or a wheelchair. So, how do you stop feeling like a target and start feeling more confident and secure in protecting yourself? Listen to find out. Safety isn't a luxury, it's a strategy. Welcome to Prepping for Urban Ladies, where I empower the modern woman to take command over her future. I'm Lynn Jordan, the Urban Lady Prepper. From solo apartment living to managing a household in a crisis, I provide the roadmap for practical, urban-focused emergency readiness. While I specialize in the female perspective, the mission is universal: total preparedness for everyone. Let's dive in. What if your greatest physical burden became your most powerful tactical advantage? Most people see mobility aids like rollators, canes, and wheelchairs as signs of vulnerability, a neon sign that says, easy target. I've read comments on my channel and in posts about the concerns people have about prepping for and with those with physical limitations. But today, we're turning that perception on its head. If you use or are dependent on a mobility aid, we're going to transform them into covert defense assets designed specifically for women who need to prioritize accessibility and ease of use. You shouldn't have to choose between your safety and your physical limits. I'm going to show you how to stop feeling like a target and start feeling like a tactician. Let's be real for a second. In the traditional prepping world, there's a massive blind spot regarding mobility. If you look at most prepping blogs or YouTube channels, it's all about bugging out into the woods, carrying 50-pound rucksacks, hiking, and sprinting. But let's talk about real life in 2026. For those of us with physical limitations, especially in urban environments, our tactical reality involves navigating our own homes and apartment buildings with little help. So I want you to look at your aid differently. It's not a walker. It's a mobile command center that stays within your reach 24/7. Think about it. While someone else might have to run across the hallway or fumble in a drawer or a purse to grab a self-defense tool, yours is literally attached to you with easy access. In a defense situation, speed and access are everything. We're shifting the mindset from I'm limited to I'm always armed and ready. You aren't a victim in waiting. You're a woman with a specialized mobile platform. So, how do we make this happen without making your walker look like something out of a Mad Max movie? We go covert. We want discreet defense. First, let's talk about the magic of magnets. I'm talking about industrial-strength adhesive magnets. You can mount these to the inner vertical tubes of your rollator or wheelchair frame. This is a shadow zone, a spot where you can snap a small tool like a high-lumen flashlight or a personal alarm, so it's hidden from the front, but sits right where your hand naturally rests. Next, look at the underside of your seat. This is the holy grail of hidden storage. It's prime real estate. You can use heavy-duty Velcro or clips to tuck away a high-capacity pepper gel canister or a power bank for your cell phone. Nobody, and I mean nobody, thinks to look under the seat, but you can reach it in a split second. I suggest high-viscosity pepper gels. Unlike spray, the gel sticks to the target and doesn't atomize in the air, making it much safer for use. And for your hand grips, we're seeing more low-profile personal alarms that actually clip directly onto the grip. These are 130 decibel sirens that you can activate with a thumb press. No fumbling through a purse or digging in pockets. It's right there under your thumb. If you have already made lethal methods of self-defense, such as a firearm, part of your personal security plan, I'm assuming that you have the proper training and any required licenses. Do not become overconfident that this is the be-all, end-all for your personal protection. Don't become lax on maintenance or think that you don't need to stay on top of practicing on range. It may seem easy to operate, but keep in mind that should you need to use it, fear, adrenaline, and surprise affect even the most proficient user. Now that you've made getting around more secure, you want to focus on making your home your command center. Do a safety audit of your home. Where are the narrowest points? Where can you position your chair or rollator to block a doorway while you reach for your phone? Map out safe zones. Maybe it's your bedroom or the kitchen, where the layout of the furniture gives you the best defensive leverage. You're playing a game of chess, and you're using your home's layout to win. Now, what are we actually putting in this command center? For non-lethal options, you do want to have readily available products that not only can disable an intruder, but also keep them at a distance. When you're inside a home, you have to be extremely careful about blowback. If you use a traditional pepper spray in a hallway, you're likely going to choke yourself out too. That's why I advocate for high-viscosity pepper gels. Unlike sprays, the gel shoots a targeted stream and sticks to the intruder's face. It doesn't atomize in the air, which makes it much safer for indoor close quarters use. You should not only have one on your walker or chair, but also have a few you can easily get to around your home. Next, I want to talk about light. A modern ultra-bright LED strobe is one of the most underrated tools for an urban woman. If someone breaks into your apartment at 2 a.m., their eyes are adjusted to the dark. A 1,000 lumen strobe light hitting them in the face will completely scramble their brain for a few vital seconds. It gives you the tactical pause you need to move to a safe zone, get your defense item, or at least create as much distance as possible. And for those of you who love tech, we're now seeing smart tags and sound-based deterrents that sync with your home security system. You can mount a small button on your frame that, when pressed, triggers a panic mode in your house. The lights flash, the Alexa starts blaring, and the authorities are called automatically. That's the power of the 2026 smart home. I must note that while most folks keep items like a bat or other rod-like item for self-defense, if you're seated or lying down and don't have much upper body strength, this may not be a good solution for you. Unless you get the jump on someone, you don't want to risk having that item being used against you when you're less able to effectively escape. If you must have a bat, make sure to put a sock on it. This way, if the bat is grabbed, their hands will hopefully slide off with the sock, giving you a chance to get some distance or at least reset. Now, I would like to ask you a favor. If this information has inspired you to be more proactive about your physical safety, please like this episode, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, share with others who would find this information useful. Oh, and comments are always appreciated. Thanks. Next, I mentioned becoming a tactician with your mobility aid. What does that actually mean? Remember that your walker or rollator isn't just a tool carrier, it's a physical shield. If you're ever confronted, you want to keep that rollator frame between you and the threat. It creates about 2 feet of no man's land that an intruder has to try to reach across. It's a physical obstacle that buys you time and space. When you're accessing your tools, remember the low C rule, low center of gravity. If someone tries to push or grab your walker, you want to be braced. Keep your weight centered. For women, this isn't too difficult as our center of gravity is basically in our butts. The low C rule definitely applies if you use a cane. Right now, let's have some real talk for those of you whose only mobility aid is a cane. I dealt with members of my family about this, and generally, a cane is what you use when you really don't want to accept the reality that you need assistance at all. And I'm mostly looking at you, my male listeners. You probably need a rollator or walker, so I would like you to have an honest discussion with yourself and your loved ones so that you can make the most informed decision about whether or not you just need a cane on occasion or you really should be using a rollator or walker, not only for better balance and safety around the house, but also should you need to travel outdoors where having a rollator may provide you better safety and protection. Should you drop a cane, it leaves you instantly vulnerable and puts you in a situation where you can fall or be otherwise injured. Don't let your pride get in the way of your safety. But if you use a cane occasionally or to help bolster your balance, defense is better than offense. Again, a cane, much like a bat, if taken away, can be used against you. So unless you've got some real cane foo happening, if you find yourself in a situation where you may be in danger, your first need is balance. Get against a wall, a car, anything that can help keep you on your feet. If you raise your cane because someone's about to strike you with an object, use both of your hands to hold it horizontally, up and away from your head. If your upper body strength isn't great, this is something you may need to practice. While there is still the chance it can be taken away from you, you still want to protect yourself from a head injury, and it'll be more difficult for them if they need one hand to hold their weapon instead of having 2 hands to grab you. This is not a fight you want to try and win. What you want to do is buy time and space by any means necessary. Make sure to carry a whistle or personal alarm around your neck and some of the gel pepper spray I mentioned earlier. Do make sure you can get to them quickly and easily at all times. Finally, let's talk about the routine. A tool is only as good as its maintenance. I want you to pick one day a week, maybe Sunday morning while you're having coffee, to do a tactical check-in. First, check the batteries on your strobe and alarm. Next, make sure the magnets haven't shifted. Then, check the expiration date on your pepper gel. And then, I want you to practice. I call these blind drills. Stand or sit in your rollator or wheelchair, close your eyes, and practice reaching for your gel or your alarm. You want that muscle memory to be so sharp that you don't even have to look or think, even in the dark. You just reach, and the tool is there. Picture where you're sitting and where the objects in your house are. Can you navigate around them easily? If you need to leave in a hurry or get to a safe spot, how quickly can you get there? Being prepared means knowing these things ahead of time. This is about more than just gear. It's about a mindset shift. You're moving from a place of, how will I survive, to a place of, I have total environmental control. You are reclaiming your space and your safety. Remember, being prepared isn't about being afraid. It's about being fearless because you know you're ready. When you use a rollator, walker, or cane, you know the looks people give you. In the eyes of the world, they may be a sign of vulnerability. But if you take away one thing from this episode, let it be this. Your mobility aid is not a limitation. It's your platform for protection. If you would like more preparedness information, especially for those with disabilities and the elderly, I'll provide the links to my articles in the description, and check out the other videos on the linked playlist. Thanks for listening, and stay safe out there. Until next time, this is the Urban Lady Prepper signing off. I'm sure I've given you some things to think about as you go through the upcoming week. If this episode has resonated with you, please like, follow, subscribe, and leave a review. To help support my work, please pop me a super thanks on YouTube or donate using the methods in the description. Visit my website at urbanladyprepper.com for playable blogs and additional information. I appreciate your time with me. Stay safe, stay sharp, and be ready.